It is the Red Friday podcast.
We're the proud, we're the free, we're the hope, we're the dreams. We are strong, we are true, yeah, me and you. Oh, we're red, white, and blue. We're red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. We're red, white, and blue.
Hello, America. Hello, beer fans. Hello, shareholders at Armed Forces Brewing Company. Hello. It's almost Christmas time. I hope you're all getting in the Christmas spirit. I know I am, thanks to my family members and friends. Got some, man, I'll tell you what. Christmas is coming, and my sister-in-law and my brother made me my favorite Christmas cookies, and they sent me a box. So I'm like really happy about that. It's the little things, man. They're called Spritz. They're my favorite cookies in the world. You got only have them on Christmas, and it's mom's recipe and all that good kind of stuff. And gosh darn it, they even go good with beer. So I got some of those, and I'm happy about that. All right, lots to talk about today. Lots to talk about. And I'm going to start out. 2026 is coming. It's going to be a new year, tough year for Armed Forces Brewing Company, and but we're going to bounce back. We do not quit. There's a lot of lawfare going on behind the scenes that you don't know about, um, and it's going to be exciting. 2026. It will be exciting. Um, we are, the preamble. Gosh darn! I'll tell you what. We were supposed to have preamble out uh, for Veterans Day. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. Cannon line broke down at our contract brewing partner, unfortunately, and that's tough when you've got lots of customers in line waiting to get their beverages canned and packaged and all that good kind of stuff. So we missed that. And that's very unfortunate. And we're waiting on the packaging date right now. I've been told the mobile canning line is coming in, and we're supposed to get preamble packaged next week. Um, we're going to send a video crew over there so we can get some good video of our beer being canned, and then we're going to, start getting it out. Um, that's kind of the update on preamble. You're going to see a lot more stuff online about preamble and in our apparel store, the Armory, 1776. A matter of fact, all the new preamble apparel, all that stuff is coming out. There's towels and all sorts of stuff that are coming out. Glasses, stickers. I think there's already some stickers out there. There's a whole bunch of stuff coming out the day after Christmas, the 26th. and a sale going on. That's www.thearmory1776.com. There's some new hoodies up there and t-shirts right now. I know that they've put up there, and like I said, there's a preamble. We the People Light Session Lager beer, the official beer of freedom line coming out on the 26th. So that's exciting as well. Uh, I'll give you guys a little bit to pop on here. Oh, I see him. Let's see if anybody's. Arrow and Honor Company is watching with you. Hello, Arrow and Honor Company. I'm sure everybody, it's Friday. Everybody's out eating. They're out shopping right now and all that good kind of stuff. So Jay popped on. Hey, Jay. So we're checking it out. All right. So that's the update on Preamble. Waiting on that canning date. We've got a video crew going over there to video. We need some video of the cans going through the line and the cases being stacked up and all that good kind of stuff for social media and all that kind of thing, and some of the videos that we create. So we got a bunch of stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about the labels on the cans during this show. We're going to talk about what's going to happen in 2026 and all sorts of stuff. But I do want to say a couple things here real quick. I am ecstatic that our president just announced that, what is it, 1.4 million? 1.4 and change of our active duty military members are going to receive a check for $1,776. And some of them, I think, from what I've read, some of them have already received them. There's more checks coming out tomorrow, I believe. And I'll tell you what, it's a nice gesture. And I know that check is going to help a lot of active duty military families for Christmas. A lot. And I posted about this on my LinkedIn page. And if you follow us and everything, you know that when we went to Norfolk, we dove into this issue, and that's food insecurity amongst our active duty military families. That check is going to go a long way. I'll tell you why. I'm really happy about it. It is a good gesture. It's not a fix, that's for sure, but it's a great gesture. And when we moved into Norfolk, one of the things I read was Norfolk, Virginia had the second highest rate of food insecurity amongst active duty military communities in the nation. And when I read that, I went, this is a chance for Armed Forces Brewing Company to do something in the community and for the community. I couldn't imagine, having a family and not having food over Christmas. That's awful. Or presents for the kids or whatever. Happens all the time. So we sprung into action, and we got a hold of the Armed Services YMCA there in Norfolk, Virginia. I probably told this story before, but we stroked a check for enough money for hams and turkeys for 200 active duty military families. And we were going to partner with the Armed Services YMCA of Hampton Roads, and we were going to be a pickup spot. These families would be able to come by, drive by the brewery, drive right in the parking lot, drive right around and grab their food bag full of a turkey or a ham and all the other food items, and that's it. They'd have Christmas dinner at least, and some other things. Well, the opposition group in Norfolk decided to harass the Armed Services YMCA of Hampton Roads, wrote him an email, called him, harassed him. What are you doing? Partnering with Armed Forces Brewing Company, those bigots, those racists, those misogynists, those evil people, those violent people. How dare you? They don't, their values don't align with ours in the Norfolk community. Yeah, this happened. This happened. This happened. Got a call. Alan, really sorry. We're going to have to cancel our partnership. We did a food drive with we sponsored the Norfolk Admirals hockey team. Did a food drive on it was a Thursday. It was an event, and I think that was for Thanksgiving. And it was a food and can drive. And the Admirals got, from what I understand, the Admirals got some pushback and on that. You know, just ridiculousness. Anyway, so the Hampton Roads, the Armed Services YMCA, the Hampton Roads pulled the partnership, gave us our money back for the 200 hams and turkeys, and evidently they sent out an email to all of the active duty military families on their distribution list and said, announcing the cancellation of the partnership with Armed Forces Brewing Company. That happened. So December 20th, I'll never forget it. Never forget it. I'm there at the brewery with other managers or another manager, and all of a sudden, cars start pulling in to the brewery. It's December 20th, and these are families looking for their food bags. They didn't get the email that the partnership had been canceled due to this opposition group in Norfolk. So 9 families came to the brewery that day. And some military spouses walked in with children and said, "Hi, we're here for the food bags. Thank you so much for doing this." And we had nothing. We had nothing. So I ran back to the safe and I got $100 for each family. And I said, "I'm really sorry you didn't get the email from the Armed Services YMCA of Hampton Roads. The partnership was canceled, and I'm sorry. I want to give you this money for Christmas. That it should be enough to buy dinner for everybody." I mean, there's little kids standing there too, on their mom's. It was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking. And but we got them money. We sprung into action, got them money, and wished them a Merry Christmas. Thank you. And they were like, "We're coming back to support you guys," and all that good kind of stuff, But 9 families pulled up that day. Nine people. Like I said, with kids, even, and there were no bags there because of this opposition group harassing the YMCA. And that's not the only thing that happened. We did the Toys for Tots program last year. 180,000 toys the Hampton Roads, the Marines put out through the Hampton Roads Toys for Tots program. And this opposition group wrote a complaint to the Marine Corps Inspector General. How dare the Marine Corps do business with Armed Forces Brewing Company? Those bigots, those racists, those misogynists. Seriously, I'm not making this shit up. You're going to find out all about it in 2026. You should not be doing Toys for Tots with them. And, here we are. We opened our brewery up to the Marine Corps Toys for Tots program. They had space. We let them use our lifts. We let them, help. We manpower, all that good kind of stuff. And I'll tell you what, there are no more honorable Marines than those in the Toys for Tots program. Those are incredible men and women. And the staff sergeant that was in charge of that did an incredible job. He did, think about it, folks, 180,000 toys for Hampton Roads kids. And if I remember right, there might be... I'm not going to say the statistics there, but it was like going to 70,000 families or something like that. that's a couple toys a kid, you know. That's really good. Wow. Anyway, just shit like that was going on. Um, but it's Christmas time, and I hope you're watching, or I hope um, we all get out there and do some good work. I am severely worried about, if you're a veteran out there, man, get on the phone, get on email, whatever, call one of your buddies. They call it being a battle buddy. I'm severely concerned about the suicide rate this Christmas, and uh, I'm in Texas, in San Antonio. We just had a veteran uh, go on to heaven there as he pulled into the VA, the Audie Murphy building, the VA center in San Antonio. I guess it's the second time it happened this year. Um, it's still an epidemic, folks. You hear us 22 a day. It's probably more than that, really. And throughout the years, we've done a lot of stuff, from helping veterans get service dogs, and helping other nonprofits with get service dogs to veterans. To you know, we've done some work behind the scenes, some one-on-one, getting some vets the therapy that they need, whether it was for mental health for PTSD, whether it was alcoholism or drug abuse. We've got help get them into rehabs and tried to save as many lives as possible. So, you know, get on the horn, call one of your veteran buddies. Even if you weren't didn't serve and a veteran, check up on them. Check up on them. We're going to get out there. I saw just a great commercial from the Wounded Warrior Project. I've seen it a couple times. I saw it last night on Fox News, where the guy is driving and he's calling his friend. His friend's not answering, and he goes up to the door and is banging on the door. Hey, hey, answer it. Finally, the door opens up. It kind of gets you on your seat, like what's going to happen. And finally, the guy opens the door, and he's checking on his friend. He's being a battle buddy, and they hug, and this is the stuff that we got to do. We got to help. We got to get out there and do it. Anyway, so do something like that. There's a new helpline. It's 988, I believe. Suicide hotline now. So, and veterans or anybody for that matter, if you're feeling down and feeling blue like that, and the demons are there, whatever, pick the phone up, man. Pick the phone up. 988. Pick the phone up. Call a friend. Call a family member. Call somebody you served with. Call anybody. But don't go that path. We need you around. All right. I see the Grunt Style Foundation is watching, and they're the ones who really got involved in this in San Antonio. That's a great foundation. Check them out, the Grunt Style Foundation. Talk about a group that's really concerned about the suicide epidemic in the military community. They do a lot of great work. So check them out, Grunt Style Foundation. Okay, we're going to talk about labels on beer cans and all that good kind of stuff, and a little bit about Christmas. And I think I posted a video about beer labels and about our beer labels, Armed Forces Brewing Company. And I think I had a cat shot label. You can see that right there. And I'm going to get this is the printed label. You can see it's got the shooter and a couple more planes and all that good kind of stuff. But this is the original can. This is the real can. And there's a story behind all these cans, man. We send these over to our friends and advisory board members and say, hey, what do you think about this? What they help name the beers, and they help uh, make sure you had the correct weapons of war on there and all that good kind of stuff. And um, I kind of mostly put this stuff on a vision board, and then work with one of the most talented graphic designers for beverages and websites that I know. He's a guy named Mike Magestro in Milwaukee. Um, and we put it together. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Um, and there's a story behind these cans. You may not read the can. You may not give a rat's ass about the can. You might go, "Oh, that's cool. Okay, I connect to that. I served on an aircraft carrier. I connect to that." But okay, I'm interested in the beer. But there really is a story behind all these cans. Okay, and I'll reiterate what I said about the cat shot. This is that 5.5 ABV lager. It's a pre-prohibition style lager. Bob uses a little maize in the brewing process. It gives it a little corn sweetness. But this is the second beer that we came out with, and it was the second label I did. And how do you how do you, without being cheesy and stuff, I didn't want to go the drawing route. I didn't want to draw an aircraft carrier or anything like that. I wanted the can to have like real graphics, because military shit's cool. It's so cool. So we did a collage. Let me see if I can get this over to you. Okay, there's a collage on this. Obviously, couldn't put the whole carrier on there. That's the USS Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier. You can see the naval aviators and their planes there. And you've got a shooter there too. And so we put a collage in there, and catapult shot, short for that. And around the top, you see these different colors there. A lot of people go like, "What the hell is that?" They thought it was the Pride rainbow or something like that. It's not. It is the deck crew. It's the colors of the deck crew on an aircraft carrier. Those that serve on the steel platform are wearing different colors. They all have different jobs, and the color dictates what crew they're on, what job they do. So we put those at the top, around the top and the bottom, because this is for them. This is a tribute to aircraft carrier deck crews and naval aviators as well. So you got that, and we decided to go consistent. If you look at our cans, all of them except for Preamble have the same consistent branding on them. You've got a vertical. There we go. You got a vertical name, title, and you have the artwork on the front. Then you have on the back of each can is a banner. Okay. So we wanted to put a banner on there. We wanted to tell the story of what the beer tributes, what it's about, and the style. So the cat shot, the header there on the banner is "Launch 'em." And it says an aircraft carrier's flight deck is 4.5 acres of sovereign territory, 100,000 tons of diplomacy. Love that. And a mighty piece of real estate, ready to steam to trouble spots around the globe at all times. Then it goes into a little blurb about Armed Forces Brewing Company's Cat Shot Lager, and talks about the beer. Anyway, I think it's cool. I love a beer can that tells a story, a beer label that tells a story. Special hops. Now, this is the first beer we came out with, and we used to have 4 Frogmen on there, 4. And we edited it. edited it. You can see the. Well, here, let me bring it. Let me see if I can bring this up here, so you guys can see this. I think I can. There it is. The Special Hops can. Okay, so Special Hops. You got 3 seals on there. All right, there's 3 seals on the Special Hops can. It used to be 4. The 3 seals, Rob O'Neill, Ray Cashcare, and Darren McBurnett, the 3 seals on our advisory board. That's why we cut that down. So you've got Rob there in the middle and Cashcare and on the right, and then, or on the left, I'm sorry, and McBurnett on the right. Cashcare on the left. All right. And you got the netting on there and in the back on the banner, it says the header is "I will not fail." It says in times of war or uncertainty, there is a special breed of warrior ready to answer our nation's call. Armed Forces Brewing Company's Special Hops IPA. And I think it says ethos. There's an eagle down at the bottom that says ethos there. Anyway, this is the first beer we came out with, and that's a tribute to Navy SEALs. Everybody knows that. So we're telling a story. Now, sometimes we get really detailed on this stuff, and you don't see probably half the stuff that we do on this. And let me see if I can bring this one up here. If you've had our beer, some of you have probably had this and some of you have probably not, but it's super popular. It is called Death from Above Coffee Porter. Now, we took this beer to Talladega for the Geico 500. I think we had some at the Army Navy. Well, we did. We test marketed it at the Army Navy game 2 or 3 years ago in Philadelphia. God, it was balls cold there. Man, it was 19 degrees in the morning, I think. 21 was the high. We brought 2 half kegs of Death from Above Coffee Porter up to the Army Navy game. We got our tent set up at about 9:30. And by 1:30, both those half-barrel kegs were gone of Death from Above Coffee Porter. People love this beer. They just absolutely love this beer. All right, so it didn't load up. Anyway, the Death from Above Coffee Porter, you can go to our website, armedforcesbrewingco.com, and check out that. I mean, that is a detailed can. It's got a Super Fortress overhead, a B-52. It's got a B-1 Lancer on it. It's got a drone. I think there's a drone on there as well. Dropping bombs, coffee bombs. And then there's a report or an explosion down. You have a city there, it looks like, and there's these little explosions going up. But look in the explosions. I couldn't help but put little skulls, death skulls in there, crossbones, skulls and crossbones in there on that can. I mean, you would have to really look at the can to see them. But that was a really fun. That was a really fun label to make. That was fun, and it's just a great beer too. Great beer. And then preamble. Now, we have a banner on this, but no vertical title on the preamble. But the words to the preamble are in there, on there. I mean, you can't read them. They're in. I mean, they're cursive. But you're going to see a lot of this stuff on the apparel line that's coming out. Anyway, Preamble Apparel is coming out on the 26th. We'll have a whole collection of glassware and stickers and T-shirts and hoodies for Preamble because we're getting ready to relaunch that out If you just joined us, welcome. Canning Day is going to be next week for Preamble, and then we're going to start getting that beer back out to market. And we're going to work with our new contract brewing partner to start ramping up production and getting beers out as fast as possible. Anyway, it is fun making these. We've got a bunch of beers. Shareholders are getting to get to name some beers and brew some beers with us gradually. And I mean, we have a whole bunch of names. And I'll tell you what, we were making some really good beers in Norfolk. Some really good beers. Anyway, here's a sneak preview right here. The preamble's coming.
Let's fucking go! Charge!
Yeah. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Charge. Anyway, can't wait to get that beer out. So Preamble will be coming back out. All right. Let's see who's online here. I know you guys, I see a lot of people popping on, and you know I love to take your questions and everything. Before I do that real quick, one other thing I want to show you guys. And let me see if it uploaded here. I don't think it did. I could be wrong. Nope, it didn't. It did not. Okay. For those of you in Tampa, I'll tell you what, I'll get it posted on our Facebook page here after the show. Lieutenant Colonel Scott Mann. If you don't know who that is, Google him. Google Lieutenant Colonel Scott Mann, Green Beret, the man behind Operation Pineapple Express. If you don't know what that was, that is a group of active duty and veterans that were in Afghanistan evacuating Americans that were left behind there. And a while back, a couple of years ago, he's had this for a while. Lieutenant Colonel Mann does a play. It was called First Out, Elegy of a Green Beret. It was a play that he wrote and starred in, and they did a traveling show. And I happened to be in Franklin, Tennessee that weekend, and they were performing this play, Elegy of a Green Beret. Last Man Out. It was excellent. Not a dry eye in the entire theater. It was very moving. And he's got another performance coming out, or actually it's out. They're traveling. It's called 11 Days, and they're in Tampa tonight and tomorrow. Now, obviously, you can't make it tonight. But tomorrow, I'll post this up, and you got one day to get a ticket. It's at the Theater, the Main Stage Theater at HCC Performing Arts, Ybor City, 1411 East 11th Avenue, Tampa, Florida. 11 Days, the story of Operation Pineapple Express. And the tagline there is, when Kabul fell, we rose. Pretty. If I were there, I'd be there tomorrow night. But there's a QR code. Let's see. That's the post on LinkedIn. I'm going to post this on our Facebook, and I think I've shared it on LinkedIn already. But I'll get this on X as well. You should go see it if you can. Everybody's shopping and eating and all that good kind of stuff, and you got family in town. So Anyway, I highly suggest you go see it. 11 Days, Lieutenant Colonel Scott Mann. It's got to be excellent. All right. Ian Lake in Fayetteville, North Carolina is on Facebook. Super cool. Ian Lake. Good to see you. Okay. Christmas. Let's do some more shareholder news here. Shareholder news. I gotta get a woman named Judy Stavely on this show. Her husband was a Top Gun in the Navy, Pete, and she comes from a huge military family. I think she's a veteran too, but she's got all these credentials. I mean, it's Dr. Judy Stavely, and one of the credentials that she holds is she's certified in brewing technology and formulation. I shit you not. And she's got a hell of a nonprofit too. I'm going to get her on the show because she's like a great friend, and she's just amazing. Her story is amazing. Her family's amazing. Her parents are amazing. I think both of her parents are veterans too. They live in San Antonio. And she's worked at the White House, and she is a mover and a shaker. I got to get her on here. And coming in 2026, we're lining up all these crazy shows to have a beer. Well, now that Preamble's coming out, we'll actually be able to have a beer together and have a beer with the guests that are coming on. We've got all sorts of topics. I know I talked about this last week, but we got all sorts of topics that we're going to talk about, from the Chinese government buying up land in the United States, to stuff we like to talk about and drink beer to. Who is the greatest college football team ever? That's going to be a big discussion. I can guarantee you that. We're going to talk about the UAPs. This is UFOs. I mean, that is a huge topic. We're going to try and get some really good guests on for that, some experts, and discuss that. I've got some stuff to share about that. We're going to talk about all sorts of crap. Veteran transition, why you should hire veterans. We're going to do a total show about that. We're going to do a show about ibogaine therapy. I am in Texas, and as you know, Robert J. O'Neill and a lot of veterans are going down to ibogaine therapy down in Mexico. The state of Texas has allocated $50 million to research and development of ibogaine with the intent on making it legal here in Texas in the United States. So these veterans don't have to go down to Mexico. They can do it right here at home. This therapy is incredible. It's working. And we're going to do a show about just the quality of life for veterans with the ibogaine therapy, stem cell therapy for veterans with service-related injuries. We'll probably get into even some finance type stuff, because you see so many of those things out on social media about programs for veterans in debt, all sorts of stuff. So we've got a whole slew of shows that we're going to be doing come 2026. Those will be fun. But let's get the beer out. Let's get the beer rolling. Okay. Let's see. Let's do a little roll call here. I want to see who's popped on here. Awesome. Wow. Chris Huff, heck yeah, Tennessee. We love you guys in Tennessee. Sound off. Tell me where you're from. Ian Lake. is in Fayetteville. I know him personally. Dennis Minogue is on. He's in New York, I think. Evening now. Hey, Randy. Randy Hafner's in. Cool. Good, good, good. Let's see if we got. We're on LinkedIn as well. X and should be on Instagram too. Anyway, let's see here. Who's popped on? All right. Grunt. Let's talk about Grunt. Grunt. What's Grunt? Grunt Double IPA. The beer we were supposed to have out by now. We've had it out. We're just supposed to relaunch it along with the preamble. All right. We're going to have Grunt. Grunt's going to be the next one coming out. Grunt Double IPA, because we're going to relaunch here in Texas, and Grunt will be available online to order as well. Grunt 9.5 ABV. It is an excellent, delicious double IPA, and I mean it is good. And we'll start out with 6-packs, 12-ounce cans of that, and gradually we'll get back into the 19.2 ounce single-serve cans. Why? Because that's what people are buying at the store. They're buying the 19.2 ounce single serves. Some of you have probably got them. You get off work, you go to the 7-Eleven or convenience store or HEB or Publix, wherever you go, and you go get yourself a single serve and a sandwich to go. And then you go home and you partake. And it's really good in that 19.2 ounce can. It is perfect, man. You are doing pretty awesome. Anyway, Grunt's coming out. Grunt takes a little time to brew. A lot of different hops going on there, but it's a delicious, delicious beer, and I can't wait to get it out. It's going to do really well in Texas, and it was overtaking. It was crawling its way up to our number 2 beer. I think IPAs are still going to be your best beers out in the space. IPA. Special hops is our biggest seller, and then Preamble, and then Cat Shot, and then Grunt. But Grunt was coming up, selling strong, because it's just a great beer, an incredible beer. Okay. Man, we got that coming out. Grunt, Grunt, Grunt. And you guys are just... Everybody wants Death from Above Coffee Porter. Everybody wants that beer. I want that beer. That is probably my go-to beer. Right now, Cat Shot is my go-to beer. But if we had Death from Above Coffee Porter, that would be my go-to beer. And I'll tell you what, we were gonna release that. It's a dark beer, obviously. We're going to release it during, the fall and winter, and then pull it. Not the case. Not the case. It's an enigma. People want it year round. I got people in June and July. God, I need that Death from Above Coffee Porter. Where is it? I guess it was kind of fall. It was October, I think. The Talladega, the Geico 500, it might have been, I think it was October. It was September, October. We were there. And, we had people knocking on our trailer. Hey, you got any of that Death from Above Coffee Porter? So we got to get that beer out. The beer industry is not doing very well right now. You hear about a lot of closings. You hear Budweiser's closed 2 or 3 of major plants. this interesting stuff in the news. However, AFBC beer continues to be in demand. That's for damn sure. So, yeah, Missouri, I'll bet. Randy, yeah, they want it all over the place. I'm telling you. Anyway, so special hops, cat shot, grunt, death from above. We're gonna get everything together and start getting this beer back out to market. Hopefully in 2026, as soon as we can. It's gonna be a process, folks, but we're getting there. All right. Next Friday we'll be here. We'll be here on the 26th. We got a major sale going on the apparel store, merchandise store, merch. You can go there right now. There's new T-shirts and new hoodies on there. Matter of fact, there's a couple really cool hoodies. I'm going to order one myself. It's www.thearmory1776.com. If you're on our Facebook X, I mean, we post links there all the time. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Here's a question: how do I get in my local Publix and Kroger's? We're working on that. It's going to be a process to get it back in there. Here's what we got coming up. We have once we get this beer going, Preamble's coming out. It's going to be canned next week. We have, we've got to get this beer back into the hands of our distributors, especially in Florida, for the Publix and the Krogers. And we have a new partner that is going to be able to ship beer to 45 states and DC. We had Yanni's Wine Store in Virginia Beach. They were only able to ship to 32 states. So that's grown up to 45 states and Washington, D.C. We're excited about that. And that's coming. As soon as we get the preamble done, I'm going to get preamble over to them as soon as possible. Okay, so I'm hope January, boom, you'll be able to order. And we'll start directing everybody and start divvying this beer out to distributors as well. This is going to be a process, a slow process after closing the brewery in Norfolk, Virginia, but we're going to bounce back. Please, please, please open a brewery in Florida. No kidding. I hear you. You're right, Kimberly. Florida would be a great place to open a brewery. We looked in Florida for 2 years, 2.5, maybe 3 years. We looked in Florida. We were working with the Secretary of Commerce there. We were working with the Florida Brewers Guild to find something for sale. Of course, everybody's moving to Florida. There ain't nothing for sale because everybody's doing so well. And but I've told some of you, we've let the shareholders know. So, and I like to let the shareholders know everything before we let the general public. But we have an opportunity in Florida with a very good development firm that's got a really good development, real estate development going on, and it's booming right now. They want an Armed Forces Brewing Company taproom foodery bad. They've wanted us there for 2 years, and I even went and traveled to Florida to visit this development. And if I remember right, I could be wrong, but if I remember right, I think they had 890 residents there, or something like that. I think it wasn't a lot. That's probably low ball. They might have had more than that. Maybe it was 8,000. Not sure. But anyway, today They have 15,000 plus residents, and they're booming. They're booming. They're building 1,500 houses a year. This development is awesome, and they want us there super, super bad. So it's a really good opportunity for us. The Villages. Yeah. Yeah. The Villages. Great area. I need to visit there sometime. I've been to Florida so many times. I don't think I've ever been to the Villages. It is definitely a place I need to visit. Anyway, so there is an opportunity in Florida right now. I'm in Texas. The reason why I'm here is really to get our brand launched in Texas. It's going to be a great market for us, and it's a great area, very patriotic area, and we're excited to get relaunched into Texas. We were in Texas. I mean, this is the stuff you go through as a company. We were in Texas. We were in 200 H-E-B supermarkets, Walmarts, banging on the door of Buc-ee's. And we were doing pretty good. And we signed on with a distributor. It wasn't a Miller Coors distributor. It wasn't a Budweiser distributor, but they distributed statewide. And I think it was 2 weeks to maybe 2 months, somewhere around there later, I got a call and said, "Hey, I need to give you a heads up. We're being acquired." Oh, okay. Well, is that going to hurt distribution? No, you shouldn't have any problems, all that good kind of stuff. But the guy that signed us on at this distributorship, things were going great, got us into H-E-B just like that. He's a rock star. They fired him. They fired him. And so we were starting with all new people in this new distributorship. Well, they started downsizing their territory, and this was hurting our consumers, our fans, customers. It was hurting our relationship with H-E-B and other chains. And it just got to the point where we had to, it's very hard to get out of a contract with a distributor for a supplier. Very hard. There has to be some egregious activity to get out of that. And it was that bad. They started downsizing their territory statewide. So we had to kind of snip that umbilical cord and go back to the drawing board. And I was literally at this development I told you guys about in Florida, touring it, and got a call from Governor Youngkin when I was there touring this. I will never forget it. Governor Youngkin and the Secretary of Commerce of Virginia called and said, "We'd really like to have you in Florida. Virginia. Come to Virginia." And there just wasn't anything for sale in Florida at that time. So anyway, we're a free agent again. So we're checking out Texas. Going to get relaunched here. John Casey asks, "Where in Texas? Can you share?" Yeah, I'm in Fort Worth, Texas. So those of you, those from the opposition group in Norfolk or in Annapolis, a couple people in Annapolis joined that opposition group. If you guys are watching, I'm in Texas, and I know those death threats you have sent me that you want to watch the soul leave my face as you kill me. I'm not making this stuff up. Can't make it up. I'm in Texas. So I'm not scared about me. I'm not worried about me, but family members, you worry about them because these people are nuts. They're crazy. Anyway, yep, I'm in Texas. I'm in Fort Worth, Texas right now. DFW, great area. And we're going to get the beer launched here. Anyway, so that's coming up. that was the story of Texas and the story of Florida, and we just got to get back to production. We got to get back to doing what we do best, and that's making great beer. Great beer. So, with that being said, I will update you guys. You know, the day that Preamble is packaged, I may even do a show. I may post on social media real quick because I'm super excited to get the beer back out. I may even give everyone a heads up on social media and go, hey, let's do a podcast and grab some of you fans, shareholders, and get you a link to the studio here and come on and let's talk about Preamble and what we're going to do when it launches. I'm just super excited to get beer back out and everything. We've got a long road to recovery of the company, but we don't frickin' quit. Are you looking for the same size brewery in Florida or Texas? Not looking for a brewery right now. We're going to contract brew for a while. No overhead, low overhead. We've got an excellent new contract brewing partner up in Pennsylvania. I'm excited about doing business with them, brewing your beer. They are very good at what they do. They own 5 brewing facilities. They can do everything from large batches to small batches. And not only that, they have a brewery that has the expertise of brewing NA beer. That's another reason why we pick contract brewing with them. They do NA beer, non-alcoholic beer. And you've heard me talk about it on the podcast here. You heard me talk about it or update our shareholders on it. There is a huge push in this company to get out a line of non-alcoholic beer. Consumers... First of all, there's a lot of reasons. Number one, and I'll get into the NA beer on the next show, but number one, we have veterans out there that should not be drinking alcohol at all, that can't. Maybe they're on medication and they can't drink alcohol. But if you have PTSD, the last thing you should be doing, major PTSD, the last thing you should be doing is drinking alcohol. And an NA beer is perfect. Perfect. We've already dealcoholized some of the and recipeed a couple. I think we sent about 4 or 5 beers to be dealcoholized to see how they would taste. And we struck gold on 2 recipes were really good. We struck gold on one of those. I mean, it was good. We went and bought 9, I think it was 9 or of the leading brands, and then did a blind taste test. Got some veterans there in Norfolk to come up and taste it. Everybody loved it. I think we canned some of it. We took it to the Army Navy game. We took it up to Washington, D.C. to an American Legion event. Everybody frickin' loved this non-alcoholic beer we had. So it's a good product, and I'm excited to get that out. I've already branded the line, and so that's another check of the box for this new contract brewing partner up in Penn. Because it really was a delicious NA beer. NA beers. The 9 that we bought. I think one or two was okay. They were good. The Heineken was pretty good, but the rest of them tasted like shit. To tell you the truth, they tasted like shit. And we think we can do a superior product. I mean, after all, Bob Ruprecht's the best brewmaster in the United States of America. I put him up against anybody. Anyway. All right. That is it. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me check on Facebook here real quick. I want everybody drinking Armed Forces Brewery, whether it be alcohol or non-alcohol. We need to make our brand wide open. Oh, we sure do. For everyone. Absolutely. Look, you guys. because I get innuendos here, and then I got people that just flat out say it. Let me tell you something. This company, we're not racists, we're not bigots, we're not homophobes. Okay, we're not. That is all bullshit. And I'm tired of hearing it, to tell you the truth. Uh, we're not. We're for everybody who loves America. I don't care if you're liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republican. I could give a shit less. Okay? A beer is a beer, and we can sit down and politic over a beer. We used to be able to do that. You can't do that anymore, but I still have the idea that we can do that. I don't mind. But this bullshit that Armed Forces Brewing Company is homophobic and all that kind of shit is bullshit. I'm tired of hearing it from this group. They pounded it into the heads of the community there, and they can kiss my ass. We're coming after you. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. Anyway, that's my 2 cents, and it's coming. It is coming. So we're for everybody. We're for everybody. Don't care. So let's move on past that. Anyway, what a time we live in. What a time. I just want to make beer. I just want to help veterans. I want to help military family members. I want to help law enforcement officers. And I love America, and I know you do too. And we love our veterans, and we do so many. We've done so many great things as well. People are just absolutely out there right now. They can kiss my ass too. Thanks, Chris Huff. Yes, they can. I'm just tired. I've had shareholders, some shareholders. I'll give you back the shares. I don't. You're anti-gay, and it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Everybody have a beer and relax. We're all Americans, and let's stop all the bullshit. Tired of it. Okay. You guys know that, and I know it. Anyway, all right. We'll see you next Friday here on the Red Friday podcast. I want to leave you with this real quick. It is Christmas time. Get on the phone and call a veteran friend of yours. See how they're doing. Make sure they're okay over this holiday, over this Christmas season, this Christmas time. We need to do it. Promise me you'll do it. Please pick up the phone. Be a battle buddy is what they call it. And get out there and call a veteran. See how they're doing over Christmas. Gosh darn it, if you can, and they're in your area and they're home alone, invite them over for Christmas dinner. It's an extra plate. If we did that, we're going to talk about this, like I said, in 2026. We're going to mobilize even more. And 2026 for me, obviously it's revitalizing the company and getting debt paid off and getting beer produced and getting the brand back out into the public eye and all that good kind of stuff. But next year, 2026, is really going to be a focus on the philanthropy side of things and outreach side of things. It's going to be quality of life for veterans. I think it's a ripe time to do it on many, many levels. And we're going to do a lot of Red Friday podcast shows about programs for veterans. I think it's Tech for Vets, Vets for Tech, Tech for Vets in Richmond, Virginia. Jack Raymondson's got a great company there. They take laptops, refurbish them, and they get laptops and computers to veterans that need them. Just there's all sorts of organizations. I mean, my God, we've got what, 6,800 nonprofits out there, something like that. And, a lot of people doing different stuff and everything. And, that'll be great. Maybe we can get some of these nonprofits funding instead of funding, the shit we heard about on the Doge thing. Sorry, I'm not trying to be political, but I'm just saying there's a difference between being political and being a common sense American. And for me, common sense is putting funding and things like that to veterans, not for all this other bullshit going on around the country, Anyway, I'm gonna fight for veterans. I'm gonna advocate for veterans and law enforcement officers, and I'm gonna advocate for active duty military families. It doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on. We're gonna use our success and our resources that we can, and our celebrity clout, if we can, to help organizations that are helping veterans. If you find that political, sorry. Tough shit. We're going to do it. All right, you guys. Let's see. Any more comments? Great show tonight. Thanks, Ian. USA. Love it. You guys are really true patriots, and I appreciate it very much. Alan Beal, Armed Forces Brewing Company. We've got a lot of work to do, and I am working behind the scenes. It's a task, and we're going to keep going. But anyway, preamble, canning day is next week. I'm trying to get the actual date. We're running into Christmas, though. I don't even see how they're going to can next week. But hey, okay, let's see. And I leave you with this.
Ours was the first revolution in the history of mankind that truly reversed the course of government, and with three little words: we the people. We the people tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. We the people are the driver. The government is the car, and we decide where it should go and by what route and how fast. Almost all the world's constitutions are documents in which governments tell the people what their privileges are. Our Constitution is a document in which we, the people, tell the government what it is allowed to do. We, the people, are free.
All right, patriots and beer lovers, thanks so much. Everybody have a great Christmas. Merry Christmas with your friends and family. And don't forget, make that call. Be a battle buddy. Call a veteran. See how they're doing. Check on them. Invite them over for Christmas if they're alone. Whatever you can do to help them out. I appreciate that. I'm sure they will too. Have a Merry Christmas.